You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 5th meeting for the Kingsford Heights Town Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Meeting will come to order at 6 o'clock. Please shut off your cell phones or put it onto the silent mode. Say the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. First up is Matt.
I thought we weren't doing
That's right.
any of the,
I thought we were doing them for the first meeting of the month and only the second meeting.
The last meeting that we had, 'cause you said you were making up a meeting, you said you weren't doing any of the other.
Okay, well,
those meetings.
Matt has submitted the report.
I sent an email earlier today. Here's a copy of it for everybody in case you didn't get a chance to check your email. In addition to the email, as I was typing some of that stuff, it got me thinking. So I kind of crunched some numbers and I've included a breakdown of those numbers in the second page. Get assigned to you at your leisure, sir.
I didn't announce. We have 4 members out of 5. Evelyn is absent.
Casey, come and move
Yeah, check out.
Oh, yeah.
It's our weekend or something back here.
The clerk is right. I didn't originally plan on presenting anything tonight, but as some of you may or may not know, Chief Deputy Marshal Gilardi tendered her resignation earlier this week, which brings up some issues that I wanted to have addressed. While we wish her a lot of luck in whatever's next for her, it does mean that we are down 50% of our police department. With that in mind, I'm coming to council tonight to request authorization to begin using part-timers to fill shifts. My intent with that would be to get about an additional 20 hours to offset the losses. One of the problems I'm running into with that is some of these people haven't worked in over 6 months. So I'm not sure of all of their availability and what their interest would be. And I wanted to talk to you all before I reach out to them so that I'm doing so with council's blessing. With Chief Gilardi resigning and leaving a vacancy, I'd like council's permission to officially post that opening and at least begin accepting applications for that spot. I've talked to some of you guys in the past while we're going through this. While we've got all our vehicles in one place and access to them, and all of our equipment in one place, it's kind of a good time to go through some of this and see what some of these deficiencies are, what we need to upgrade, what we need to update, and I found some of those things. Also with the personnel change, what we've realized is I didn't have an accurate accounting of who had keys to certain parts of our facility, which led me down the rabbit hole of looking to change locks and make sure that I could be accountable for who has access to what, when, and where. That leads into some physical security issues. One of the things I've noticed is, especially with the State Board of Accounts, that they leave a lot of paperwork in the open on that desk, and that at any given time, somebody can stroll in, and I just don't think that's appropriate. So one of the things I would like to do is to post a sign on that door that says authorized personnel only, town employees only, something to that effect, and install a keypad device so that all people that would use that area as a break room or as a meeting room would have an individual code for that could be tracked back to that person if there's ever a problem. That would be, I think, the quickest and easiest route to kind of secure that. The other side of it is I think it's a safety issue that somebody can just walk right into the marshal's office while they're in there, especially if there's evidence that's being processed or reports that are working on, or there's phone calls that are being had. It's just not appropriate. With that, in speaking to Randy, there's an opportunity to expand the actual office area, moving the wall that's on the north end of the police department and connecting it to the garage, expanding that area and creating a small interview room, so that if we did need to have somebody come in, again, they're not coming into an area where officers have other cases going. It keeps them in the area that we want them in. Also, the Charger lease ends in December, and the balloon payment is approximately $13,000. I've had some bad experiences with Chrysler Dodge, and continue to do so with their service department. So I'm not recommending that we renew that by paying that lease, which leaves us in a position that we're going to need a new vehicle. I know that's months down the road, but at times different manufacturers only offer police vehicles to be ordered once a year. And others have lead times of up to 6 months because of their popularity. So instead of waiting until December and then being down a vehicle, I wanted to put that on you guys' radar. So I realized that I brought you guys a lot of problems. So on page 2, I've kind of gone through and much like a word math problem, I've typed out.
That's not gonna stop. Mine's not gonna stop. The key fob is messed up.
Oh, it's got a battery issue or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is yours then?
I'm pretty sure.
So,
The battery.
It's an RNG, whoever's key fob.
Yeah, it's,
basically, like I said, I put all this into written form and kind of broke down the math that I used to come up with this. But the long and short of it is, we began the year with an estimated $171,000 for salary for the marshal and for the deputy marshal's position. If you remove my expected salary and Anna's already used salary for the year, include what I've estimated to be approximately 440 hours of part-time coverage to cover up until we could hire somebody, hopefully by the beginning of the June, to cover the weeks between now and then, as well as the 10 weeks that they're at the academy. That comes out to approximately 440 hours or $15,400 in part-time use. A new hire, depending upon hopefully a meeting we can have soon to discuss reorganizing job descriptions and how we do the police department. I would estimate that a brand new officer with no experience would hire in at approximately $55,000. Based on that, if they start in June, we'd be responsible for half of that salary this year, $27,500. In reference to the equipment upgrades, just like we've heard in other meetings from other professionals, that at this point in time, the cost of things has gone up, especially if it's a specialty or niche item, or it involves something that has to be imported, computers, things like that. I would anticipate to be able to come in well under $9,000, but I budgeted a little high just to be safe. And then in reference to the upgrades that I've talked about to the police department and speaking with Randy, and including the locks that I've recently had to change, we'd be at about $1,500. So the long and short of it is that of that $171,000 we've had budgeted, that those numbers I just gave you would account for $133,572.50. We would still have a remaining $37,427.50. So the money for all of that is in the budget. It's there. I understand that some of these numbers are preliminary and rough. I don't know if we'll be able to get 20 hours a week of coverage. I don't know if we'll be able to get somebody into the police academy this year, or if they would have to start next year, depending upon how fast we can get them hired and if that's going to happen. Again, if we hired on somebody full-time that has had the police academy and can go to work right away, I would anticipate we'd probably have to pay them a little bit more money, but we would not have to pay the part-timers the 10 additional weeks of coverage. So I feel like that is an accurate, rough estimate of where we're at with the finances and what I'm requesting.
Can we go back to page 1 with the question?
Yes, ma'am.
The balloon payment.
Yes, ma'am.
If you turn the car in, there is no balloon payment?
I have not been able to get a copy of the lease. Jeff doesn't have one on file. I've talked to Matt Magnuson through email and on the phone. The way he has explained it to me is yes, if we turn the vehicle back in, we don't have to pay anything additional than the payments that we already have outlined. However, if we want to keep the vehicle, it's approximately $13,000 to do so. One thing I didn't put in here, just to try to remain brief, is the Durango that I currently drive, we make payments on. Some of the equipment that is in the Charger is not only police specific, but it's vehicle specific to that make, model, and year of vehicle. So some of the internal lights are mounted in housings that curve specifically to the interior of that vehicle. Matt Magnuson from Chrysler has expressed that there would be some value in giving him that vehicle with some of the equipment in it. Obviously the stuff like the radar, the radio, things that we will still have use for that are universal, I want to keep, but the specific things for that vehicle that won't do us any good if we don't continue to utilize a Charger, he would be interested in looking at and seeing what he could do. And the goal would be to have that cover a payment or two of the Durango that we currently have to kind of reduce that money going out.
Okay. Any questions, any other questions for Matt?
I kind of threw that at you guys rapid fire. I tried to be a little bit more detailed in the note so that you guys had access to it. But I feel like a lot of this is time sensitive, and the sooner we get rocking and rolling on it, the better. Like I said, I didn't want to contact any part-timers and put that expectation out there that they're going to be coming back to work if there was a problem with that. One thing that I didn't really touch on is with that, in my mind right now, having 6 part-time officers, the way the county works, the way a lot of the other agencies work, they rotate, right? So half the guys have one weekend off, half the guys have the other weekend off. If I can set the part-timers up in a way that each weekend we have the availability, or each weekday we have the availability of 3 options, the likelihood that if we needed a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday covered, we would increase our odds by trying to find people that had, you know, opposing schedules. That's kind of my thought process with that, is to have at least 3 options for every available shift, so that if somebody can cover it, great. If they can't, we have a couple of other options. With that said, some officers that I won't name in an open meeting that may or may not have worked here in the past have expressed interest in positions, but until I got your approval, I couldn't give them an answer. And until I see what I have as far as people that are already on the books that are willing to come back and work, I don't know what I need.
Okay. So what Matt is asking for is 2 or 3-fold. He's requesting authorization to use part-timers to begin filling shifts.
It's his office.
Well,
Yes, it's his own budget.
right, but he needs our permission to do it like that, because that's going to be a resolution to change appropriations around. I mean, we can do that after the fact, but just so we know we have to do that. He is asking for permission to post the full-time vacancy and begin accepting applications. Okay, do we want, someone want to make the motion on the 2 personnel issues?
I'll make the motion to let Matt post the job.
And
for the
use
full-time and
part-timers?
use part-timers.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve Matt's 2 requests related to personnel in the PD. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. Okay, he is also asking permission on the remodeling of the police department and the conference room.
Yeah, the conference room would basically stay the same. Just the shared door between the common area and the training room would have a keypad lock. So that would be probably $150 of that $1,500 that I talked about. And the remodeling would entail removing one small section of wall and walling in another section and putting a door. In talking to Randy, the variable there is going to be the doors. A couple of the doors in the department already are off the hinges, and we know they're somewhere. People typically don't just throw doors away.
I hope not.
So we know they're somewhere, we're just not sure where they are. So we're attempting to track those down, and that, with the door being anywhere between $200 and $400, depending on the quality of the door, the size of the door, and the locks that we put on it, that could be substantial, a substantial reduction of that $1,500.
And our workers will be doing the work?
Yes, yeah, that's the other reason why I say it's kind of time sensitive. We've kind of got this false spring right now, and with Indiana being very moody, I'm sure we're going to get some cold weather again. In speaking with Randy, he has no doubt that if we get the right weather conditions or a day that the guys can't be doing something more beneficial for town, they could make arrangements to make that happen.
I make a motion that we let him proceed with the remodeling of the one room and the door with the lock on the keypad for the outside door.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to move forward with the remodeling as requested by Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That is also unanimous. All right, now we gotta go back a step. How much of the in-car print, okay, the in-car printers, is that included in the Brainstorm, or is that separate from Brainstorm?
All of the items listed in here within are separate from Brainstorm.
Okay.
And it's not so much the printer. So because police cars are very similar to offices, and again, they're very specialized and custom for that size vehicle, what we're running into is an adequate way to mount a printer. It's a thermal printer, so in addition to the printer, you also have a roll of thermal paper. Thermal paper has to be shielded from any thermal things like the sun or heaters, so now you need a mount for the printer, you need a secured way to store your thermal paper, and a way that you can access it based on the design of your car. And because there's only a few companies that offer that, it's pricey, so it's $400 for a metal box to stick paper inside, is basically what you look at. But they find creative ways like replacing a headrest or an armrest so that you don't lose a lot of function and space within the vehicle. But again, with that convenience comes cost.
Now, the two we have, are they both Durangos? The
We
two other ones?
have two Durangos, one that the town owns outright. That vehicle does not have a printer mounted in it. The gun rack that's in that vehicle does not properly adequately secure our less lethal shotgun, and does not have a spot to mount a long gun in it.
Are
So-
are the lights and everything transferable to both of them? Are they the same too, or are they different?
So the front visor mounts, the part that mounts to the front of the vehicle that curves to the windshield, those are probably not transferable. But I know in that case, the old gray Dodge pickup truck that the marshal's office had that ended up going to the utilities department, like the rear arrow stick, the directional signal in the back of that vehicle actually came out of that Dodge pickup truck. So there is some stuff that transfers over.
So when
but-
you're talking about looking for a different vehicle in the future, we probably would want to get something that would interchange some of the parts that we have on the cars personally now too then, right?
Yeah, that's one way to go with it. The other problem is that just like with any other sort of electronic device, the life expectancy of that is down. So if we're taking something that was from the Dodge, I don't know how long we had that pickup truck in service, so imagine an average police vehicle's life is 5 to 7 years. So if that was 5 years old, and that was 5 years ago from now, we're at 10 years. There are no warranties for that. So we could spend the time and money to make a mount fit, to make it work, and it could go down, and now we've got to buy a brand new thing. There's just no warranty with it. A lot of the lights that you get right now, the better quality lights, not only are they free, like if the running board light leaks or one light shorts out, they will replace the set for 10 years. That's just good insurance.
Okay.
We also don't have fire extinguishers in our vehicles, And with the fire extinguishers, we don't have any mounts to secure those fire extinguishers so that we don't stop at an accident scene, open our trunk, and realize that it is full of fire extinguisher dust. Don't ask me how I know that can be a thing.
Okay, on your equipment list, we talked about the printers. Prisoner transport cages, what car is that needed for?
That would go in the newer Durango,
The one we're keeping?
the one we're keeping, correct?
Okay.
The Durango I'm in right now is the newest vehicle with the lowest amount of mileage, so it's the vehicle that I would anticipate we would have for the longest out of the 3 that we currently have.
All right, so Matt is requesting to use part of the salary money for equipment, including an in-car printers, prisoner transport cage, is that just one?
Just one, yes.
Okay, gun locks, fire extinguishers, emergency lighting, and other miscellaneous equipment, which is probably what you would hang the stuff on and like that.
Yeah, a lot of it. I'd like to go through and update our med bags, blankets, stuff like that. Stop sticks is what they're commonly called, but we currently have a different brand of them. Some of them aren't working. The type that we have requires that an officer using them puts themselves in a little extra danger as compared to some of the stuff that's out there. And with this, I mean,
And that's all included in the $9,500 estimate?
in the $9,000 estimate, yeah. And there's some other things that I want to try to get prices on with that. I'm also currently working with the LaPorte County Prosecutor's Office to see what things they'd be willing to help out with. I kind of left that open-ended. I'm not trying to mislead council, but like today I had to unplug. I had to do the old home IT type thing where you have to unplug your printer and then you have to plug it in and then turn it back on and then turn it back off because it just wouldn't stop beeping. And then all of a sudden, everything I tried to print had a line in it. And that was just to try to get this done, to give you guys the copies of the request to get money. So if there's adequate money in there, I would like to continue to use that towards upgrades. But obviously, I wouldn't go over that amount.
So what is the council's pleasure on equipment?
Is there lit tax money left? Or for
Okay,
this new year?
well,
is
I
that-
went through the lit tax and the safe for public safety. But I added in the 13,000 for the payoff on the car. And it was about tapped out, but if we don't have to pay the 13,000, there will be some money there if we keep it all for our own PD. So.
Don't they get new every year too? New
Well, the
tax?
lit tax is going away per se, but it's gonna come back in a different format. And are you gonna learn about that this time or your June school?
I don't know.
Okay. I didn't know if you had an agenda that they had given
They haven't
you.
given
Okay. So
So the
before
is that.
the 1st of July, when Maleka's gotta be doing budget again, we should know more about the new format on the lit tax. Okay, does anyone want to do anything on equipment, or do you want to table that for now, or?
Well, we can, I'm okay with him doing his equipment. He's got to at least have a printer.
Is that something that needs?
Well, I was gonna say we have to at least have anything to do with gun safety and fire extinguisher safety and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to be able to transport a prisoner safely.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and move forward with
The equipment
the
he's,
equipment he's requesting.
do we have a second?
You need to get a new battery.
I'm gonna leave these keys at home and get the other keys.
All right.
Dwayne seconded the motion. We have a motion and a second to remove, or to approve this equipment list at a cost of not to exceed $9,000.
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that is also unanimous. We've already talked about the charger.
I guess the last part of that I put on there is, I'm new to this, and I don't even know what I don't know. You know, Lori brought up an excellent point about the lit, and then that conversation kind of ebbs back into what I was looking at. While I'm working to get the quotes and identify maybe what vehicles would be best for us as a town in the future, I ask that you guys use your knowledge to see what we can come up with to find a way, instead of having to lease a vehicle or make payments, to maybe secure a vehicle through direct purchase. Sometimes there's better rates for that. One of the problems with the leases is with the Charger that Anna had, to install a cage in that permanently modifies the vehicle, which some leases, even if they are for police departments, can cause problems as we have to return them in the same state. And some of those limitations, by not owning the vehicle outright, present a concern when it comes to officer safety and having the best equipment available. So I know that that's not something for tonight. I just wanted to throw that in your minds.
I don't know if you can find anything about that at some of your Marshall breakfasts or not.
I can ask about that, but I guess what I'm asking for is more of a specific understanding of what we have available in the budget. I appreciate those of you that have taken some time, like Malika and Rosalie, to show me some things with the budget so that I can understand. Dwayne, I understand what some of that stuff means. I don't know the difference between something that I can ask for money out of or not. So I guess that's where I'm asking for your help is if we get looking at this ahead of time, we put our minds together towards working towards a goal, I have no doubt that we'll be a lot more successful than if it's, oh crap, we got to fix this tomorrow. And that's why I'm coming to you guys now, so that you can keep that in the back of your mind. And if you can use your collective wisdom to find a way to make that happen, I think that would overall be in the best interest of town.
Thank you.
I heard prior to the start of the meeting a conversation about the guns that were ordered prior to me taking my position. There's a company called Kingsford. They're a law enforcement supply company, guns, ammunition, stuff like that. And there was a contract entered into by Jeff, on Jeff's behalf by Anna, purchasing new department-issued handguns. Those handguns also had weapons lights that were different than the lights that we currently use to fit the holsters that they wanted to go with. We received the holsters and we received the lights last year with a packing label that said, this is the item number and how many of them you got. There were no prices included in that. Recently, Anna was here and messaged me and said, hey, the guns came out, I put them in the safe. When I got into the safe to look at the box, there's a packing slip that says from Glock, these 3 make, model, serial number firearms, but there is no price involved in that. I talked to Anna a little bit about it, and she gave me the name of the contact that she had been dealing with from Kiesler's. And in looking on the computer, I noticed an Excel document that showed a credit for Kiesler's. But I'm not sure if that amount is correct, and I'm not sure if that amount was for something prior to or in anticipation of us exchanging our guns for credit to go towards this purchase. When I had that amount encumbered, I used the quote that was originally in the email chat, and that's where I got the number of the quote. But as of right now, I have not got an invoice number, and I don't know if that quote will go down if when they take a look at the guns that we're turning in, if they say, hey, these are in excellent, fair, or poor condition. I don't know if that's going to modify it. Unfortunately, I've lacked on that. I kind of let it slip to the back burner. Malika brought that to my attention today, so I'm going to get on that and reach out and see if I can get some better numbers. As soon as I can, I will bring her up to speed on what I know and what I need to do.
Okay. And if he can't give you an exact number and you need to get that resolution done, you can use the number on the quote and just document where you got the number from, because you can't hold that up indefinitely. Okay.
Are there any other questions I can answer about any of that stuff?
No, but stick around for a brainstorm discussion.
I'm not going too far.
Okay.
Here you go, Matt.
Robbie and
Thanks, sir.
Randy, if we're not doing your reports tonight because the short time in between meetings, only if there was an emergency that had come up.
I just have a couple payroll issues I'd like to discuss.
We'll, coming back to that. Okay. Approval of minutes. Have you guys all had a chance to look at them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are that one dated for February 23rd?
Yes. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or motion to approve minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve
Was
the
it the
minutes.
23rd?
Oh, it might have
It's
been,
wrong on the agenda.
On the agenda, okay, it is the 23rd, okay.
It's wrong, I just caught that.
is it the 23rd or 26th?
It's the 23rd on the minutes, I just put the 26th on the agenda.
But it is the 23rd?
It is the 23rd.
Okay.
All right, I make a motion that we accept the minutes for February 23rd, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of February 23rd, and seconded, all in favor? Unanimous. Okay, approval of claims. And you were going to tell me something about the Baker Tilly claim.
I was gonna tell you in my question.
Okay. We have a batch of claims in the amount of $110,783.11.
I'll make a motion that we accept the claims for 3/5/2026 meeting. For
Okay,
the amount of $110,000, $783.11.
we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, approve tonight's claims. All in favor? Aye, unanimous. Okay. Clerk's report.
All right. You asked for the Baker Tilly, bill,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to know in the Ames book where you are entitled to a copy of a bill, since you're the legislative body. And I'm the fiscal.
Anybody, John Doe Public, anybody is entitled to anything they want in a public, from a public office under the open door and public access laws.
So you're entitled to the bill?
Yes, ma'am,
Wasn't that one of our stipulations?
and it was.
That's fine. Okay, since you brought that up. You can have that. That's yours.
Thank you.
Okay. Last week.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it is correct. Is that part of the claims too?
Yes.
Last week, there was a letter that was handed out to the board containing information about the clerk treasurer and the deputy marshal. And under the open door that you just brought up, I need a copy of that.
I believe that Evelyn gave you one.
No, she did not.
Okay, I was under the impression that Evelyn gave you one,
No, she did not.
but I think I have a spare. February 6th, there you go.
All right, thank you very much.
I was told Evelyn gave you one, so I thought it was done.
No.
Okay.
Okay, and he discussed the encumbered list about the invoice that wasn't placed on there, so that's why it wasn't finished.
Okay,
Okay, and next, I'm just trying to understand. You just approved for Matt to do a whole bunch of work for his office. I asked to paint the office, and you guys put me under a restraint because I bought 2 desks and a chair, and you just approved him for $1,500 to do work in the office. So I'm just really trying to understand, because paint only costs $100.
ask again for paint.
Okay, my other question is that if I don't spend over $500, why would I have to ask you?
We don't have that. I need you to find where we did that.
Okay.
We were just trying to slow the spending.
We
down.
were trying to slow the spending down at that point in
For
time.
$21.95?
For anything.
For $21.95?
At that point in time, think of how many lines were going negative.
They were not going negative in the clerk's office. I'm probably the only positive one because I was under that list.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I know the utilities was getting shut down a lot too for spending money at the same time. So
Yeah.
We didn't stop everybody from spending money at that time.
No, they did not. They did not stop spending, and they still have it. Okay, and also with that being said, in the utilities department, I've asked for packing slips, I've asked for invoices to be brought to me before when they order the product, whatever product it is. I am not getting that.
You're not gonna get a packing slip until it.
I have not got an invoice.
You're
When
not-
they turn in the purchase order, I have not got an invoice to go with that, when they order it.
Wait, if it's, okay, if something is being ordered,
Mhm.
say, a water heater,
Mhm.
you won't get a packing slip and you won't get an invoice until it's received.
But you will get where they ordered it. You will get a slip saying that they ordered 10 meters when they ordered them.
All purchase orders I have stapled the invoice to the back of the purchase order, so look through your purchase order.
Did I not just discuss this with you last week? And I told you that if I got another purchase order that did not have the invoice with it,
And what
or
did
the
I just
order
say?
form with it,
What?
that I was going to cancel the order. Did we not have that conversation?
You do not have that authority, and what did I just say?
I do have that authority.
Wait,
That's
wait,
what
wait.
you
Time
forget. I
out.
do.
Time out.
Stapled to
Time
the
out.
Purchase order.
Unless suppliers have changed things drastically, there is no paperwork from the majority of our suppliers until something is shipped and or received. Usually you're lucky, when I order from Amazon, when you order from Amazon, we get a confirmation number.
And you also get a number, what you ordered when you ordered it. While you print it out of what you ordered. So when you get the Amazon and the claims list, that's what you get. You get a printout.
But a lot of, you don't get stuff until you get a packing list in the box when the item comes in.
I agree with the packing list. What I'm telling you is about when they order it, when they make the order.
Randy,
When I make
ask
the
them
order-
for,
when I
ask
make
them
the
for an
order-
acknowledgement if they would email it, if they have the capability to email an acknowledgement prior to the shipment.
A lot of our vendors email the receipt directly to the clerk's office. Other ones that I do at Ace, Napa and all that, I fill out a purchase order, I staple it to the back of the purchase order, and I turn it in.
I think she's talking about the ones that you actually order.
She just said invoices and pack that she's not receiving. She is receiving invoices.
Well, you wouldn't ever receive a packing list from a Cablin's or a Napa.
No.
You would only have an invoice.
But I haven't received packing list either. I haven't received any of that. When they bring in the meters, I haven't received those either.
I don't understand why you need packing slips, but okay.
Okay.
Okay. And last but not least, the town hall will be closed from March 8th through the 12th because we're going to the clerk treasurer school.
To the 12th.
To the 12th.
Nothing else?
Can we all get a copy of that Baker Tilly list when we come to these meetings instead of just one copy for the president? I'd like to have
Tell
a
her.
copy of that myself too.
Yeah, because
I'm sure everybody else would too.
I'm putting my copy with the contract each time and keeping track of where we're at on our hours that we signed up for and that type of thing.
Well, I keep all my paperwork too, and I'd like
Okay.
to have that in my paperwork too.
Yeah, I would too.
I know Evelyn doesn't want one. She told me. Do you want one?
Yes, I do, please.
I think we all want
Because I gave you
one.
a
All right.
copy for this.
Yeah,
Keep track.
everyone gets a copy, please, of the Baker Tilly bill, and if Evelyn doesn't want to keep hers, then that's her business. Do you want one to go with your copy of the contract?
That's fine.
Can you
Yes.
post your
Amber
details
too.
at the post office for us, that you can be closed,
Yes, I can.
please?
Amber too.
I just heard you.
Okay. All right,
May I
well,
ask a follow-up question?
you did not report, but, what?
I'm really sorry, can I ask a follow-up question to that? I've not been in this position this time of year when the clerks go to school. Do I need to do anything preemptively to make sure that payroll is turned in for next week before the 8th? Or what do I need to do on my end to make sure she gets the
What day are you leaving? I mean, what day are you coming back? What day of the week?
On Thursday.
You'll be back on Thursday.
Yeah. it's a
No,
Thursday.
just Thursday morning.
You're a
So I-
salary person.
Correct, I'll be on vacation, so I won't be back until the following week. So I just wanted to make sure that with them being gone and me being gone, that I was giving them everything that they needed.
Are you the only one that's gonna get paid next week?
I believe so. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm doing things.
Is that
dotting
right?
I's
Is
and
that
crossing
okay?
Yeah, because he's a salary.
Okay.
This wasn't changed.
All right. Somebody did file our annual report on 2/27. I think you were already gone or out of the office to go to Texas. I couldn't find a signature on the annual report, but I did find it on Gateway. And I was looking over it, and I know you and I talked many, many times about, we do not have $2,049 in petty cash, and it is reported on our annual report. So you need to talk to Baker Tilly and get that corrected somehow.
I've said it numerous times.
Okay? And budget approval.
We have not got it yet.
I found it on the computer, so you need to look. Go to Gateway. It is there. It looks like they approved what we asked for.
We got everything.
Fund report with investments and appropriation report. Are these numbers still including 2025, or has 2025 been cleared out?
It has not been cleared yet.
Okay,
It has not.
all right, that's why it doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, in that case, can we have a fund report and an appropriation report for the 12 months of the calendar year of 2025 that we can lay down next to these and subtract to see where we're at in 2026?
So, I don't think you understand what we're under, the pressure that we're under going through every day, that they're sending different things that we have to do for the audit.
I do
I
understand
don't
that,
think you do.
but
I really don't. You
these
don't.
numbers are not making any sense for your council.
Do you know how many pay files we've had to go through and pick up just for the audit? Every week, they're sending something. Every day, they're sending something that they need for our audit.
I believe you. I believe you, but you have to know your council needs numbers to work with too. Okay. Our encumbrance resolution's been carried forward for another month, another meeting. Old business. In our minutes, we saw where we were having an executive session tonight after Amber had requested a copy of the employee handbook, a copy of the minutes from where it was adopted, and did not get it to be able to review it, which is why we canceled tonight. I did not cancel it.
I did get it.
Oh, well,
I got it the other day.
okay.
Yes.
Did not get it in time to review it, which is why we canceled the meeting. We're going to try to discuss how much we can in public tonight and then decide if we need to reschedule the meeting. And then the meeting that was requested for before our next meeting with Shaw and you and Amber and us. Amber and Shaw have discussed that, and that executive session will not happen either. It's been canceled per the two attorneys. So we are just down to a regular meeting in a couple weeks on a Monday night. Okay,
Can we ask why it's canceled?
that was the attorney's request.
Yeah, the attorneys discussed it and didn't think it was necessary at this time.
Okay.
Okay. The first guy's issue, and Malika sent did everybody get that memo or just me?
Everybody got that?
Okay, we got a memo where Malika is requesting clarification in the form of official action, resolution, handbook change, and/or ordinance on what hours, what type of hours the council wants to count and/or not count as actual time worked. Now, I'm going to go back a couple steps. We have handbook number 1, undated. I did not go back through the old minutes. I don't know when handbook, what I'm calling handbook number 1, when it was adopted. In that handbook, it said vacation pay will count, or vacation hours will count as time worked. I don't remember if it said anything about holidays. Then we've got handbook number 2, which was adopted in 2024. That handbook states holidays count as hours actually worked and addresses vacation hours not at all. It doesn't say they count. It doesn't say they don't count. That was adopted in the middle part of 2024. The minutes are very vague about when the handbook was adopted. It says the council adopted the handbook with multiple changes. So the minutes doesn't say what the multiple changes were. So that is what Malika is requesting that we fix. Correct?
Mhm.
All right.
As long as it goes with the Fair Labor Act.
The Fair Labor Act allows towns to pick what they want to count. It does not forbid us from picking something.
It does not give, it doesn't, you have the right to pick for the holidays, when the double time, you have a right to give the double time as bonuses. You do not have a right to go against what the Fair Labor Act says.
The Fair Labor Act has enough leeway in it that we have the right to say, municipalities have the right, I found those papers last week, we have the right to say vacation pay vacation hours and or holiday hours shall count as hours worked, comp time and personal time shall or shall not, whatever we want to say, as long as our policy, ordinance, resolution, whatever says it, it is applicable.
I'd be very leery about what you're getting ready to say, because that is what the auditing board is going over now, is the pay that went on from 2021 to 2024. And over the $50,000 overage that they can't account for, which is the overtime money that was paid out.
That's why we need it in writing.
Yeah.
So does this council have an opinion of what they want in writing? Do they want nothing in writing?
Well, I want to go by the handbook, even though you say it's kind of vague, but we've been paying these guys all along this way. If there's something that needs changed, then we need to make us a new handbook up and change it at that point, to me. I mean, why?
But do we want it, we can, okay, if we're going to change something, it's gonna take a longer time to change a handbook. We can change something now by an ordinance or a resolution. So by Good Friday, the problem is solved,
Yes.
and then we can still do the handbook and take our time and do it right. That's my opinion.
Well, we need to make sure that they can get paid. Before, I thought we was paying for holidays and comp time, but not the free days that we give them, the personal time. We made sure that the personal time you could not use it for pay.
You anticipate this being part of the
No,
audit?
that's going to be part of the, they've already told me. That's going on right now as we speak.
And in the meanwhile, we
It's
have,
never been, I don't get
and
it.
in the meanwhile, we have
Oh, you
employees
just
that
don't
are,
imagine what they're looking for right now.
we got employees that aren't getting paid what they work.
What, we got, that's the second issue.
But you can't expect them to come in on a holiday and not get paid time and a half for that
No,
holiday.
that's not even what we're talking about right now. If
I
they,
thought that was a question that was brought
if,
up.
that's a second question, or a third question.
Because they're not gonna do it.
If-
I'm not gonna come in if I'm not gonna get
if-
paid.
If they work, get a holiday, Memorial Day's a holiday.
Yeah.
Then they come in and they have weekend duty Saturday, Sunday, before Memorial Day, and we don't count Memorial Day holiday as time actually worked. We don't count it as time worked. Then they're going to get straight time for weekend duty.
And they're not gonna do it. Cause I wouldn't do it.
That's not how it's been done. I have not taken, straight time has been holiday pay. They have gotten their holiday pay and nothing has been taken from their holiday pay. What is happening is they're taking vacation days, which is not considered time worked. So when they work overtime, then it becomes straight pay until they receive 40 hours.
Well, vacation.
Okay,
time-
but in the old handbook,
You
it's,
can't go by that because it's null and void. You have already approved the new one, so you can't go back to the old one to say that that's what it's saying.
Amber,
So what, I haven't had time to go through the handbook, I'll be really honest with you. But if it says right now that the vacation hours do not count,
it doesn't say anything, period.
it doesn't say anything
Nope.
period
Nope, it
about
doesn't.
vacation. Okay,
That's why I looked it up in the old one.
so if it wouldn't say, then the general rule under the Fair Labor Standards Act is that it would not be time counted towards work unless there's something to the contrary, right? Like, we have to have something officially stating that it would.
The old handbook says vacation time is time worked. I've been employed here since 2019. 2024, the handbook got changed. It states that comp time and personal time is not time worked. It does not state whether vacation time is or isn't.
The old one did, though.
The old one did, but for the last 6 years, we've been getting paid as vacation time, as time worked, up until recently when the clerk changed the precedents have been set. For the last 6 years, we've been getting paid as vacation time, as time worked. So. yeah, that's
And
where-
comp time too, correct?
They've been doing comp time, I believe so, yes.
That's time worked?
Yes.
Well, and it should be because they're taking the comp time versus taking overtime
Yeah.
to kind of save a
And
little bit there. So if
Without
not,
coming-
then they're gonna go for overtime all the
So
time.
without coming to an exact resolution tonight, does the council have like a position that you would like to go? Like,
Right, that's what I'm trying to
even
get
if
to.
we would do something, if we can, that's what I need to just kind of figure out legally, maybe retroactively to the beginning of the year. What would you want that to be? Because right now, if it does not say vacation hours count, then
It
I
doesn't
would.
say either way, so.
But if it doesn't
Yeah.
say either way, you're gonna go under what the Fair Labor Standard Act says, and it would not be counted as time worked. So you gotta make some kind of
I would like it to
acknowledgement that
say
it does.
a combination of the two handbooks and have it be vacation time and holiday counts as time work is my preference. Comp time and what's the fourth one?
Personal.
Personal time doesn't. I think
And
that's a
they're not gonna
good,
take comp time, they're gonna take overtime all the time.
That's-
That's what I would do.
well, it depends if any of that would apply.
I'm gonna take overtime. I'm not gonna get, if I have to come in, if I take a comp, use comp hours for one day, and then get called in for the weekend because say it's Randy's weekend and he's
They're
sick and
gonna-
he switches.
They're gonna know before they turn
I'm
their
just-
time card in what they have to use.
Well, vacation time, you have to have
24-hour
it pre-approved,
Okay,
24 hours.
then the other thing, well, we'll get to that. One book didn't say anything at all about how long you have to request vacation time ahead. The other one says 24 hours. There's no 48 hours anywhere.
No, there isn't. Cause I looked through both of them.
Okay,
Then if you wanna look at the last one, then since we're looking at, it doesn't say, according to this, vacation request must be turned in 30 days prior to the requested time off and will be granted on a first come, first served basis. Every effort will be made to accommodate the request for time off. However, may be denied due to anticipated heavy workload during the requested time frame. Only one employee will be allowed off at a time. If an employee needs to schedule a vacation day for
That sounds
personal
so bad.
reasons they have to have 1 week notice must be given. Emergency vacation day requests will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis.
And if
That
you-
is the new one that you
and
have.
if you go somewhere else in there, it says 48 hours, I
It
mean
says
24 hours.
It says 24, but that's what you have in your book. That's the newest book that
I
you
know,
have.
the whole book conflicts
Oh, you
each
can.
other.
Oh, you can just tell, I'll just.
It doesn't have pages on
Oh.
it, that's what I'm trying
It's
to.
under
Okay.
vacations.
There's
It's
no
under, okay.
pages.
So what do we wanna do?
It's under
We wanna try,
article.
what was you guys set up before, Randy? I thought it was just personal time.
We
You
were,
couldn't
we
take
were
a
set
day.
up as vacation and comp as time worked.
Vacation and holiday, you mean?
Vacation, comp, and holiday as time worked. Personal was the only one that was
Yeah,
not
that's what I
time
thought it
worked.
was too. Personal time was the only one you couldn't take time and have.
That's the way it was
Mhm.
before.
Because that's time that we give you, them are days that we give you for your, or more or less of your attendance. And
Yeah.
I will go
That's
with
our
the
5 to
majority.
6
I'm not
days a
gonna
year.
vote against it. I just want it fixed.
I think all three of them need to be available for,
Okay, Dwayne?
I'm with John.
Okay, and-
So,
I do
before
too.
you, don't vote on anything, let me
Well, you're good.
research it and get it all put together for you to
Correct,
make
we're not-
sure.
so
But
this
just so I know that
This
that's
is so
kind
you
of
have the
Yeah.
resolution or whatever for the next
But they
meeting.
won't show up.
Yeah, they won't.
well, there's no sense being a conflict trying to do your job.
Okay,
Okay.
now, Malika also sent out a memo basically saying, and this goes back to public record, that, don't go away, Randy. A separation of duties between the town council and the clerk. I agree, there is a separation of duties between the town council and the clerk. However, the part of that memo I don't agree with is you can't tell us what we can look at and what we can see and what we can say if we think something is incorrect.
I can only tell you what I do. Mine is fiscally, yours is legislative.
Correct.
That's it.
But,
all.
but you can't tell us we can't see it.
Oh, I don't.
And you can't tell us we can't try to help the guys out if they think you've done something wrong.
You can do whatever you want to do.
And I know the guys think there has been, not even counting this time and a half stuff, the guys think there has been mistakes made in probably the past 4 or 5 payrolls on how time has been subtracted from what they have available in different categories, on hours that got overlooked, on straight time hours that got overlooked, etc. I would like you to sit down with the guys before the next, well, you're gonna be at school, so before 2 payrolls from now, and get adjustments made where necessary. Let them explain to you with their check stubs where they think it's wrong. Malika, some of these guys think we've been underpaid by 8 hours. You can't.
No, I
let
did
that
not.
go.
You're talking about one of the employees, and he had a vacation time, and he had 10.25 hours of overtime. He got paid straight time for 8 of those hours, and he got paid overtime for 2.5, which is what the book says.
Okay.
Vacation is straight time.
Can I comment on all this? She's thinking of me. And
No,
it's
I'm not.
Okay,
No.
it's not me. All right, we have an employee that had 8 hours overtime, and he also had 8 hours vacation time. The clerk's office took his 8 hours of vacation time from him. He never got paid straight time or anything for the 8 hours of overtime.
That's not true.
Yes, it
That
is.
is not true.
That's
You
what he's
just
explaining to me now.
need to look at their time cards
other-
and the check stubs.
the other
and let them
issue-
explain where they think it's miscalculated calmly, and explain to them how they're thinking wrong, or if you thought wrong, let them tell you how they think you thought wrong, and try to get it worked out.
Okay.
It's not gonna, I mean,
The other issue is, I have personal, I have vacation, I have comp. Why did I only receive a payroll check for 36 and a half hours? That has never been corrected. You know, they had a guy that did holiday plan checks. He should have got 2 hours of double time. He got 0, but he got charged 2 hours of comp. That got
And
fixed.
did I not fix that?
Can I finish? That got fixed. I had 4 hours of vacation time taken from you last week. That got fixed this week. But these 2 incidents are from 4 weeks ago, and they have not been fixed.
You just said they got fixed.
Two of
So
them.
if you just said that they didn't, you just
are
just told that.
You are not listening to me.
He said 2 got fixed, and there's still a couple that haven't been fixed.
Okay, so
Listen.
your resolution is
Wait,
that you would
wait,
like her
excuse me.
to sit.
Yeah, we got
How-
the
wait,
meeting.
You
You
are
want
not,
her
you
to
are
sit-
out of order.
You
Public
want her
comment
to sit
comes
with
out
the
at the
guys
end.
and discuss the
That's
paycheck.
exactly what we want.
Public-
That's all you need to do.
Excuse
Her
me,
to sit
Matt.
with them, and that's what you want.
You,
You want
public,
her to sit with each
time out.
guy.
Public comment is at the end of the meeting.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you, but
All right.
you so stuck on trying to be right. But I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, you're agreeing
You
with
want
me,
her to
but you're
sit
also
with
Can you
each
please
interrupting
guy.
the meeting.
Stop,
Discuss
stop,
your paycheck.
stop. Let's wait till the end of the meeting. You can discuss that. Yeah,
I mean, how
Okay.
stupid can you be? I'm agreeing
All right,
with you.
All right,
I agree.
all right. Thank you. Just, all right,
You just stuck on being right all the time. I'm agreeing with you.
thank you. It's just it sounded like it was a loud
I
shout.
know, because you always have that there.
All right.
So. what
So
I'm-
yes, I would like Malika, just not next week because she's gonna be at classes. They can't do it before the payroll's done next week. But before the payroll is done the following week, I would like, if Randy still has unsolved issues, if
No,
Damien
yeah, Damien.
has unsolved issues, I would like you to take time, sit with them, go over it, discuss it with them individually, please.
That you can ask. You can ask.
I mean, it's,
Well, something's gotta happen with the payroll and the workers getting along with the
Malika,
clerk and everything.
if you
It's-
don't get this worked out with them, what are you gonna do if they go a step farther and sue the clerk treasurer for underpaying them?
That's why I have a lawyer.
That's a bad answer.
But that's why I have one.
You ask, that's all you do, is sit with them, personally, one by one.
I've asked. Does the council back me up on asking?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
One to talk to yourself. May I comment on some of this for just a second?
And I'm sorry.
One of the things that I'm looking at, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't remember the date of the meeting, but I talked about being able to address some issues that the handbook had specifically pertaining to the police department. One of the things that I'm looking at, instead of having, sorry, I'm getting over a head cold, instead of having comp, or I'm sorry, vacation, holiday, personal, is just creating PTO, right? All PTO would be treated the same. Comp, because it's earned at a different rate, would be treated differently. And I feel like we're going down this rabbit hole where we're about to explore a bunch of different things. Whereas if we maybe lump them together and those three were all treated the same, because they're given by the town as opposed to earned as comp is, that we might be able to take some of these, it's, you know, just sitting in the back and listening, okay, vacation time, there's so many different versions of how you have to request that off. I haven't been here a year, I don't have vacation time, I'm getting ready to go on a vacation, that's what I call it, but I'm having to take holiday time, and I'm having to take comp time to do it.
It's supposed to be
Well,
flex.
what was that, I'm sorry?
It's supposed to be flex.
It's supposed to be flex.
Flex, you're supposed to get flex.
Okay, and that's the first time I've heard that. So I think there's a lot of extra steps going in with this, because at this point, I don't know how to request personal time off. I don't know in the handbook that it says that. I don't know how I'm supposed to request a holiday off. I don't know how I'm supposed to request comp time off. So if we treat 3 of those 4, because of the way they're accrued, the same, and make the rules the same for all of those, I think we are streamlining a process to possibly prevent some of these headaches, to make sure that people are getting compensated, but we're not having 8 different sets of rules that have to be followed that are chaotic.
That's a very
Isn't that
good
what you
point.
have right now? Vacation, comp, and
Personal. So holiday, so like for the
Well, he
police
gets
vacation, holiday, and comp, those 3 would be what you're talking about, right?
right, everything except comp time, because the comp time is earned at 1.5 hours for every hour worked. It's our overtime, but we're not necessarily paid for overtime. But again, the handbook doesn't address that for us. The comp time is another issue. So one version of the handbook says it's 80 hours, but I've been told that it's been modified to 40 hours. I'm at 70 hours right now. So do I say, hey, Malika, write me a check for 30 hours of pay? Or every time that goes over that 40, I have to submit that 0.5 or that 7.5 or whatever it may be. I think while we're looking at this, instead of researching them individually, maybe we can combine some of this stuff to save some working steps. That's all I'm saying on that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty decent.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think that eliminate a bunch of headaches.
Right, and I do, you know, Malika and I may have had our differences on things, but I'm in the office to where you start a project for 5 minutes and the phone rings and it's not a prank call, but a telemarketer call, and then somebody comes in and you're getting pulled away constantly, you're getting pulled in by the auditors, and when you've got a process that's much more convoluted than it needs to be, I feel like that contributes to fatigue, mistakes, misunderstandings, misinterpretations, and that all turns to hurt feelings. And then instead of it being about what it is, it turns into something where it's now personal and it gets in the way of trying to move forward. And that's just somewhat of an outsider looking in on that. So thank you for allowing me to say that.
Okay. This is still old business. What do we want to do about brainstorm? We have 2 quotes that we have seen before that they want e-signature on. One is for, oh, we also have that other one too.
The Cardinal one?
Yeah, do you have that one too?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Well, I don't have the hard copy.
all right. Do we need
Can I
to
touch
do
bases
Cardinal
on that real
first?
quick? So, just because I know you asked me to take a look at it, so Cardinal was, it looks like what I have in front of me was a license agreement. For 1 year, the box was checked, they gave you options of 3, 5, but there was a little check by the 1 year for $4,818. Is that accurate? Okay. So there isn't anything about saying that it continues from year to year. It looks like you already paid for that 1 year just as a license agreement. So I don't think there's any money that you're gonna get back. If you, it just kinda, it is what it is at this point. So I don't think there's anything else you really need to do to cancel it, because it doesn't look like it's a year from year. It was specifically 1 year.
It just-
Is that your understanding of
Well, at the
it?
end of the year, they'll just ask you if you want to read it again.
That's how I read this,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So anything we decide on that, we can just decide that without worrying about it.
Knowing that you're not gonna enter into another contract with
Yes.
them next year.
Well done.
And that's the one that is not keeping up with technology.
Yes.
Okay,
Let's go on it down.
all right. Now, the one quote is, you have copies of all these in the office too, right? Okay, number 1749. If I remember right, the first page of 1749 is a one-time fee. Do you want to look at this?
I apologize, I don't have them with me. The difference between the two quotes is they went through and they broke down per workstation. So if we replaced one computer, what the cost would be for the computer, the monitor, the licensing, all that stuff for it. And they broke that down individually so that we could, dependent upon our needs, if we wanted to do something with the clerk's office, if we wanted to do something with the water treatment plant, what we had was a way to calculate what we were looking at. The second of the two quotes would be the one-time stuff for actually coming in, finding out the specific needs that we have based upon the business that we do, to kind of customize it.
Okay, so this one, this is the one-time cost?
Can I flip through this real quick
Yes,
just to
you may.
double check? I believe this is the reoccurring fee.
Well, I know the second page is, but it's broken down.
So the second page, when we discuss this, not all of these items are optional. An example of this would be, in order to extend one of our computers' lives to October, we would have to pay for a one-time upgrade, however that computer would expire. So we could do that or outright buy the computer. This is just a menu. I mean, if you think about it like that, of this is what we would need to do.
Okay, and then the last one is the new equipment for the PD
Correct.
and/or the town hall, or both?
That would be, there are some of it that are two, because when we talked to them, we were planning on having two fully set up workstations, and others of it is one, if we wanted to add that on later on. So the bottom number would be to have the two installations, the two machines, the two licensing agreements to get everything on the police department side opened up, whereas the one would indicate what it would be going forward, including the price gaps or price increases we have with electronics and
And
stuff.
there's nothing here on the phones yet.
No, the phones are through a second
That's
company.
NITCO.
NITCO.
That's what I was gonna say after he got done. NITCO is asking for us to sign for them to come in to do the phones.
And they can do the phones before the computer part is done?
The only thing that's different with NITCO is because of the internet. And that's what Brainstorm
Yeah.
is supposed to be doing, is the internet to break it down so that us know.
And there's no internet on there.
So they're not an internet provider.
an internet.
They're
No.
monitoring the internet. They're
But they're gonna
providing
come-
information security for it. The problem that we run into is that when the phone company comes in and it's an internet-based phone service, they're gonna want you to have an email. The problem is that Brainstorm secures the licensing agreements for the emails and manages them. So in my professional opinion, the order of operations would be to get that secured, make sure everybody has the email addresses that they need, so that the internet-based phones would then allow voicemails to go directly to people. And instead of having to go back later on and be like, oh, this person doesn't have one, or this email is a way different format, that way they're all lumped together.
Okay. This is basically going just slightly over the top of my head. Brainstorm told me they want those two things done tonight.
They would like an answer on the contract to be signed because they would like to get it implemented by April 1st.
But don't they need to know about the phones and internet first? Isn't that what you're just saying?
No, ma'am. The phone company should piggyback off of the internet company. Right now, we have internet service coming into the building.
But it's not the one
It's
we're.
Comcast, right?
We have multiple.
We
I
have-
believe we are in triplicate at this
Oh,
point.
yeah?
We have three.
We have
From
fiber, wired, all these other things.
Yes.
So what Brainstorm would do
Guarantees.
would determine, based on our needs, how we can be best served by the providers that are available to us, and then manage the information security for all of town through one source.
So at this particular time, we would need 3, because you're gonna need 2 for the fire, or for the police department, and she's gonna need 1 for the clerk's office.
The phone.
As far as brainstorm, right?
So at this point,
Yours is part of it.
we've got lots of flexibility, whereas if it would make sense now to get up and running, to give the clerk's office one of our machines because we have a vacancy and it's not going to be utilized full-time, I can further explore with him the workstations where our mobile laptops would be brought inside, clipped into those as a fixture on the desk, so that instead of needing another computer, we're just basically creating a workstation without access to our network printers and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I want to explore, but those are after effects once we get the basic services going. We've got months before we need to update the computers, but we've got to get the IT security stuff
That's
improved.
the key. That is what we're trying to get, is the IT. Down there to get to the Comcast, all those different modems that we have downstairs. That's what Brainstorm is coming in to get rid of what we don't need and what we do need.
Okay, so we're ready to approve that
Absolutely.
and then amend it as necessary later?
Absolutely.
I get it.
And even
That's all I
if-
had to hear.
Even if I get to the point where, like I said, I don't anticipate getting to that $9,000, I'd be more than happy to put any leftover from that directly towards some of these machines. if
Okay,
that's
well,
an
I know
option.
in the long run, our phone bill's gonna be cut by 2/3.
Absolutely, if not more.
And I would assume our internet bill's gonna be cut at least by 1/3.
Absolutely.
Probably
So,
more than that.
And those two savings alone, based on the totals that Malika and I have looked at, more than cover the monthly fee for Brainstorm. We'll still be ahead
Okay.
money with more.
all right, Dwayne just made a motion to proceed with the brainstorm proposal.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to proceed with this security upgrade by Brainstorm. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If Brainstorm comes in when they get to the point where they're ready for us to work with the phone company, do we also have approval to move ahead with that so that we don't have to stop that process? If at some point it makes sense to kind of have them work together, are we
Yeah.
good to go ahead with that as well?
That would have to be part of it too, that's for sure.
Permission for Brainstorm to work with the phone company and the
Nitco?
internet both.
Nico.
Correct.
Make a motion to use
Nico.
Keepco for our phone
Nick.
system.
Nitco phones and
Brainstorm.
for
the
Brainstorm
security.
to make recommendations on what we do with the internet. We know both of them are gonna save us
Once
money.
it's done, we can get rid of what we don't need.
Yes, because they're going to put, I would have to get in touch with Randy, but they're supposed to be putting phone systems for them in the water, the sewer, and the electric, so that they'll be able to receive their own information.
And all that cost is gonna be split between several departments.
Yes, but the brain, you seen the cost of it, I think it's like $200 for the phone.
Yeah, okay. So we have a motion on the floor, a second motion on the floor to go ahead, if it's before the next meeting, to let Brainstorm do the arrangements with Nitco Phone Company and to handle the internet arrangements also. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Brainstorm can do their thing with the phone and internet too. All in favor?
Who made the motion?
Wait.
Okay.
Aye. It's unanimous.
Thank you
You're
all very
going
much.
to let me know about e-sign.
Yes, if nothing else, I'll print the contract out, bring it to you, and drive it to Brainstorm. One
Okay.
way or the other, we'll make it work. Like I said, I'm having issues with my computer and some of its capabilities, so I don't know if we'll be able to e-sign from my computer.
Okay, and I know I can't from the iPad.
You can in the office.
In your office, that's, yeah, okay, well, thank you, that'll work.
I should be back to town tomorrow by, with the time difference, I should be back by 3. You guys close at noon tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, worst case scenario, I'll print you a hard copy and we'll get it to him Monday.
Okay,
I'll reach out to Mark and let him know the situation.
okay.
All right, thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks for doing all that work.
No, thank you, thanks to Malika, like she 100% spearheaded the phones.
All right.
Okay, new business. Anybody on the council have new business? Attorney's report.
I have nothing further. I was just gonna talk about the Cardinal, but we already did that.
Okay. And we just decided to let that fade away into nothing.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
And public comment.
I have a question. That $8,000 that got paid out here a couple years to a vendor that we didn't know after this audit, are we gonna get that $8,000 back to the town?
That was a few years back.
That was a few years back. Was that an overpayment?
Yep, the bill wasn't owed to the vendor, but the last few times I've asked about it, it hasn't got sent back to the town. So when they get done with the audit, that should come up and we should get the money back.
I would hope so, but maybe we've used it up in a credit. I don't even know who the vendor is.
Did have to go through the records.
Does anybody know who it was?
Dwayne might, because I was probably back in his time.
Yeah, but hell, that was 2-3 years ago, when it was.
Yeah, that's been a good 2 or 3 years.
I believe that was a trash service, wasn't it? No.
Oh,
No.
trash show was too, but they
Oh.
went out of business.
I do have other old business.
What the heck?
We still need to find out why garbage fund is going in the hole at a rate of about $1,500 a month.
We discussed that, and we have come to this conclusion that what's happening is when Century Complete does the houses, now this is not in total detail of the 1,500, but when they do the houses, some houses, they say that work has to be done on the house. They call the garbage company themselves and get a garbage can. Well, because they haven't transferred over the utilities into their name, nobody is paying the $1,380 but the town.
Oh, God. Can they do that legally?
Well, wait a minute, I gotta do some math.
That's a lot of money. All them houses that are being built and.
Yeah, but they're not even picking up garbage at that time, are they?
If they have a trash can in front of their house, they're picking up
We're getting
trash.
Are
charged
they
for it.
billing us per unit when the garbage company bills us, or are we paying a flat amount a month?
Oh, no, see, this is what happens with the garbage company. When somebody calls them and says they need a trash can, from that point on, they are charging us $1,380.
So then we're
Why
charging.
can't we be the ones
That's
that
like
they,
$108.
rather than the residents saying they need it, why can't we
But
funnel it
it's not
through
even
the
the resident
town?
doing it, sounds like.
Well,
it's
see,
the
that's why I
builder.
was saying,
Yeah,
we found this out, because
After
this
the
happened
fact.
before. When we were sitting there trying to figure out what was going
Yeah.
on, we found out that some of these people didn't come and transfer over to their name for 2 months.
And wasn't getting billed
So
for it?
how were they getting
We were
electric
paying
and
for it.
water?
Century Complete was paying their electric and their water, but they were not paying the garbage.
Uh-huh.
Oh. So then Century Complete needs a bill?
Well, it's probably too late to figure out how to back bill
There's
them.
a way to figure it out to stop
There's-
it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we did
But
come to that
still.
conclusion that that's what was happening. They're getting garbage cans, but Century, it's still in Century Complete's name.
They shouldn't get cans. It should
Why
be the town
don't
authorizing it. That's
we-
how we stop it.
Contact the garbage company and tell them the town will authorize what houses get new garbage cans,
Yeah.
not the contractor.
But
Yeah, they're doing it because they're gonna make some money real quick.
But if they're the ones authorizing the garbage can, there
They
ain't
don't
nobody
care who
resident
pays.
in said house, they should be
They
in
don't care who
charge,
pays for
Century
it.
should be.
The contract's with the town, so it should be the town authorizing it.
Yeah.
Because usually when they come in and transfer over the utilities, that's when they get a form that says, call the garbage company and have them deliver you a can. Well, we have a date when they transferred it over. But if you have somebody else calling that number and getting their trash can and they're not paying the bill,
We can take that off the form and we can call.
well, I'm just,
Yeah, she's.
That's just
what
something that have to happen whenever they come in.
yeah, when they transfer over, most of the time they automatically come and transfer over. But there are some problems where there's something that happened with Century Complete and they're still paying that bill. But the people have called for the garbage can.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That's a lot of money.
Did you say that was
What'd you say?
$1,500 a month?
yep,
Yeah.
average of
13
1,500.
Yeah.
So that's an
1380.
average of over 100
I
houses
think
a
it should
month.
be
That's, I mean,
very
that doesn't add
clear.
up. There's not that many houses out here to be 1,500 a month. There's like 140 new houses
Well,
altogether.
I mean, they gotta look for another reason too, but there's,
So it's not a standard bill that we get every month. It's not.
It's
Like
just
if they-
something we gotta fix.
So-
They'll go and they'll add 1380.
So any of those,
And you've got
has
nobody
to,
to bill
you
it
have
to
to, you
because
have to
it hasn't been
mandate
turned
that
over
that
to
comes
that
only
person's
from the
name yet.
town, and that no one else has authority to modify that. It has to come from you, Malika, like, be really firm with them about that.
Yeah,
the
let them
only,
know that.
the only people that have the right is if they're already a customer, they know that they're already picking garbage up there.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that want two toters get billed separately
Correct.
for their second
Correct.
toter. We
That
know,
would go directly to them.
But when the resident moves into said house, they come to Malika, pay their turn-on fee and everything, and say, okay, now I need a garbage
Malika
can.
should be the one.
And then
to
she
authorize
should
it.
authorize the phone call, but apparently they're not doing that. Century.
But it's a twofold situation. We do give that number. They call when they transfer it over. But we had an individual that had been there 2-3 months and had just transferred over, but they had a garbage can that whole time.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
yes, it is.
And we wonder why we're in trouble.
But the other thing,
But that math doesn't work.
it doesn't work for the,
$1,500
it doesn't
a
work
month,
for the whole
$13.
thing.
No, it doesn't. But it's other things, but.
Can you compare units billed by us to units that they're billing us for and see how great that difference is for
Yeah.
2 or 3 months, 4 months, whatever, and
I'm not
And
gonna
just
tell
make
you
sure
that's
it's all
gonna be done
units.
very quickly.
Just make sure it's all units too, so no one's ordering dumpsters.
I have
Dumpster's a
not
different
seen
well,
any.
there's been a couple
That's a
dumpsters
different
out there, but I
That's a different
think
company.
they should be paying for them themselves.
Yeah, they pay for those
That's
themselves.
a different, okay.
Yeah, and Mark said that's a different company.
Yeah,
that
they
does
have to have
dumpsters.
authorization
Yeah, it's
really for that.
But they're authorizing garbage cans for.
But you're right, you need to look at the units that are being billed.
Versus what we're being billed for.
Yeah, but that's.
so actually what you're saying is when
Quick.
a lot of them houses out there were Century Complete is turning on the electric, we're getting billed for garbage already.
Yeah.
Was it old
If
and?
they ask for a garbage can, we are getting
If
billed for a
Century
garbage
calls
can.
us to say, I need a garbage can at 409 Belmore, and
Or
my
even
house is-
somebody, it can be a person that comes out there and says, I need a garbage can, and they'll get a garbage can, it automatically bills us that $13.80.
and there's not turned in up to Malika, so.
But is it old and new houses?
No, it's not, it's
new.
new, it's new houses.
We need to make sure we're not being billed for a second can too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Randy?
Could it be possible where it's being double billed? What I'm referring to is if somebody lives at 401 Grayton and they move out, somebody else comes in, could the garbage company be billing it twice to the same address?
I don't know, I would have to look it, but I don't know.
I have seen that before with
Well,
some of our accounts.
We would be double billing that address too.
Right.
We would be billing 2 customers.
Mhm.
So that would be a wash if they
Yeah, but
are.
couldn't they be billing her or the town for 2 cans
But
at
that's-
one said
that's
house
what
and
I'm-
that's not billing that person? Because we have 2 cans, but I don't ever stick the second can out there because it was given to us.
Are they charging you for it?
No, because I don't use it. It was given to us
Okay.
by, I don't even remember who it was,
Okay.
the last company we had, because they picked all of our older ones up and threw them in the trash, so we called them and complained, and they brought us one for free. So we don't use it because I'm not getting charged for it.
Okay. supposedly, the people that have 2 cans had to make the arrangements with the garbage hauler themselves, and they get billed for the second can themselves.
Yeah.
And they have to pay it in advance to use it, because they contacted Katie, she had 2 cans, and she didn't pay the second can, and they took it away.
Oh, yeah.
So, I know that's how that one worked.
Mine's behind my house, I ain't touching it.
Okay, do we have any other business? Any questions from the public? All right, our agenda is complete. 7:30, adjourn?
Yeah.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, yeah, it's unanimous.